not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Good morning, everybody. It is 29th of April and we have FOMC meeting today. So I don't know if the market's going to do anything too crazy, although it does appear that the Asian and European sessions have been relatively active. So let's go to the charts. Oh, we need to move that over here. Okay, so yesterday, big move up, and then we took some shorts, and it worked out pretty well. I didn't trade it as well as I wanted, but I still came out of the day with a pretty good profit. So then, all of this noise at the bottom, they did not extend below this. So then the Asians and the Europeans decided to bring it back up again. Treasuries, though, man, Treasuries really moved up, and they're still moving up. I've noticed that often there are moves in the Treasuries ahead of the FOMC, and they always seem to predict correctly what the FOMC is going to do or say in their statement. So I would pay attention to that. It seems to me that they are expecting the Federal Reserve to be dovish. Okay? But there's a problem. Big problem. Big problem is, where is it? Where'd it go? 6E. 6E. The euro continues to be relatively strong against the dollar, and every time that the dollar drops, the S&P 500 rises. So we made some comments about this yesterday. I want to kind of take back and rephrase what I was saying yesterday. This what we're seeing right now is not necessarily the result of the Federal Reserve printing a ton of money so much as it is the longer term effects of the Federal Reserve's policy. The dollar has become such an effective safe haven asset that it is detrimental to us in this particular situation, because that strong dollar hurts the stock market, and the weak dollar inflates our stocks beyond where they probably should be trading. That's what it looks like to me. I'm not a huge, I don't understand currency flows a ton, so I think there's probably a lot I'm going to learn in all this mess, and probably there's a lot for us to learn in the FOMC meeting today. So I would definitely watch it. We will stream that hour or so. I don't think I'll take any trades during it, but you know. Anyways, so that's where we're at. Everything looks green on all time frames though, so we'll see what happens. Let's see here. So somebody was saying here in Discord, I think NinjaScript is missing a few functions that would make it easier to create trading systems. Functions that I use in MQL4 and MQL5 are not always that easy to recreate in NT8. Mixing manual trades with the program trades was not easy. I had to create buy and sell button to feed into the system so that it would recognize the manual trade. Scanning through all the account positions was not that easy. Yes, the NT idea is that only the trades are opened by the strategy are recognized. Filippo Corsini, do you use any Excel file as support for your trading activity to spot better patterns? If not Excel, any other program or script? I do. So I have many studies, not all of which are public, but one is public, and you can go and download it in the downloads room, the stat suite. But I will backtest things to determine how likely specific levels are to trade, essentially. I don't do it in Excel, though. I try and keep it all in NinjaTrader. Because the nice thing about doing it in NinjaTrader is that I can pull up that test on any instrument and instantly see not only what the current probability is, but how it has performed historically. Let's see, what was I going to say to Dan here? I think it's that managing positions and risk are difficult in general. Are certainly some functions that couldn't be written, though. Theo from Milan? Oh. Well, thank you for stopping by.
Filippo Corsini says okay nice. Ciao from Milan.
Thank you for stopping by and asking a question. Okay, so we're getting a pretty strong uptrend coming out here. I'm not so sure that I can really be involved in this. Not only because it's happening without me really noticing, but that I don't really see anywhere where I really could have. Well, maybe here 10 minutes ago. 10 minutes ago, maybe I could have traded that, but no, I think I should sit on my hands for the moment. I don't want to chase
Simon
that.
says let's make money today. Scalper Trading
I think
Reviews
that's a good
says hello, I am a new traders for DOM trading. Any suggestions for the new trader to understand more DOM trading?
Yeah, I have lots of suggestions. So the first suggestion that I would make, scalper. Oh my. Okay. So that's something. Aren't we glad that we didn't touch anything? Wow. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Holy shit. That was as crazy as some of the moves that we saw during the trade war. That is, hey, hands off. I'm not touching that one. Holy. The treasuries came down pretty strongly too, but the equities are just went insane. What just happened there? Oh wait, I need to scroll over a little bit. Oh, I don't see anything coming out of our news squawk friends yet. GILD trial meets primary endpoint, positive data emerging for remdesivir. If that's really what it is, then man, is that really what it is again? Oops, sorry. Wrong tweet. That can't be right, man. Oh yes, that's right. There was news, right? Wasn't there? Duh. That was kind of after though. Oh,
Kevin
and the
Wimmer says
GDP
as
was
GDP came out,
4.8.
but no number on investing yet.
4.8. I'm getting 4.8 versus negative 0.4. I guess I'm just slow today, guys. I apologize. I'm the one that's supposed to be like knowing what news and what's coming out and everything. But you're right though, Kevin.
Kevin
I'm
Wimmer
not
says
getting all the
it was with the
numbers.
GDP.
I'm not getting all the numbers either. I did get the GDP growth rate was in quarter one was 4.8 versus an expected -4. I don't know how that's fucking possible. But yeah, there is no way that number can be accurate. There is no way that number is accurate. There is no way that number is accurate. Okay, here's the rest of the numbers. PCE prices quarter over quarter 1.3% versus an previous reading of 1.4. GDP growth rate 4.8 versus an expected -0.4. GDP price index 1.4% versus an expected 1.2%.
Kevin Wimmer says it's -4.8% on investing. Kevin Wimmer says versus 4% estimated.
That's not what I got. I got that it was positive 4.8. What? That can't be right. Okay, let's check. Let's double check our stuff. Yeah. Okay, so it's negative 4.8.
Existent being says morning Seth.
I actually okay. So when I look at Forex Factory, I can see advanced GDP quarter over quarter as negative 4.8% versus an expected -4. So that would be negative, would not be a reason for equities to buy up crazy the way that they just did. So that Gilead news may be part of the action here. I don't know, guys. Well, we're focusing on, I mean, we don't necessarily need to understand all of those numbers. Okay, so Pascal says, no, it's negative 4.8. They updated it. So my calendar in Jigsaw says 4.8 without the negative. Somebody made a little typo? Did somebody make a little typo and the market moved off
Kevin
of the
Wimmer
original?
says, but I think you are right. The number was green at first on investing too. I think they forgot the minus. Like they announced 4.8% instead of -4.8%. Kevin Wimmer says there must be a mistake.
Somebody's made a mistake somewhere. I think you're right, Kevin. Pascal is saying the same thing in Discord. They updated it. But if that's the case, then wouldn't the market get hit back down really hard? And that's not happening. And like I said, some of that movement did not come at straight at 6:30. Okay, wait, where's my other chart here? Okay. So let's scroll back a little bit here. Okay, it did go crazy right at 6:30. $28.19 from 2,900. Yeah. Okay. They were buying up into it anyways. Sketchy. I mean, if there was a mistake, then I say you sell this bitch. Okay. So I now not
Kevin
Rand
Wimmer
Squawk.
says, so is this just a typo or considered market manipulation?
The Rand Squawk is now tweeting that there was a correction on the number. Okay, so I feel better about myself because at first I thought I was telling you guys something incorrect, but no, what I was reading was what they gave us originally. But I should have felt bad that I should have been looking for realizing that it was 6:30. Okay, so somebody asked me about what to understand more DOM trading. What you need to do is watch the DOM, and if you see something that you find interesting, start tracking it. Put it in a spreadsheet. Use the what do we call this? Journalytics. Use Journalytics or whatever systems that you have to track and see what actually happens when that thing happens. Okay. Oh, interesting. The micros traded it and the ES did not. Well, now it goes. A bit of a stop run there.
Jerry
I
is
think.
awake says that went right up to trendland on price discovery I just put in on hourly.
Wow, really? Looks like they're going to try and squeeze people. Ouch. I think that there are too many people trying to make the same trade that we are, guys.
Kevin Wimmer says Jeff Goonlock on suicide watch?
I don't know. I don't really think that the market action here really makes a lot of sense, to be honest. we're still in range expansion sort of behavior. I think that we're taking a trade too early. I'm not quite sure what I should have been looking for to avoid that one, but so I'm just going to mark it down to it happens. But now that we know that we're in there, I need to see something that tells us that whole process is over and that they really are going to resolve down. Okay. Okay.
Kevin Wimmer says I still can't believe we had a big sell-off with the US Open and then the Asian and European guys just reverse the whole move with much lower volume. It's like the
Right?
overnight moves the market.
Well, but it's the currencies. It's the currencies moving it. What are the price boxes?
Cursory Forex says Seth, what are the prices boxes, the red and blue ones from your S1M chart?
Those are our top secret moving averages. They are not listed at the top of that chart. Hold on, wait a second. They're not. Why are they? They shouldn't be there. That's not there. Ignore that. They're super secret. Super secret. There we go. Super secret. I wouldn't pay too much attention to those. Those are just kind of lines that I use to kind of determine like where is the middle, like what is the point at which things start to get negative or positive for people. Hmm. But I guess going back to what I was saying, so the issue that I'm having right now is they're buying up the E-mini, but the truth is that the S&P 500 has not become more valuable. Like the companies in the S&P 500 have not, the outlook for them and how much they're worth and everything has not become more valuable. What has happened is the dollar has become less valuable, and so they're more valuable compared to the dollar, and so we're getting a deceptive move. The market is moving up on dollar devaluation. Okay.
Kevin Wimmer says like yesterday the overnight session was 320k volume and the US session had 1260k volume and only managed to stay inside the overnight range.
Right. Although I have to say, the selling yesterday did seem pretty hard, right? U.S. Secretary of State Pompeo says there were real concerns about labs inside China. Still concerned Chinese are not being forthright about the labs in a Fox News interview. Okay. Well, I've seen this one before. Can be tricky. So what's happening is there was a stop run up at 2908. Really pushed it up there, and they've pushed back, and they're trying to make a pivot out of
Air
it, and they
Cages
can't do
says
it.
good morning.
Morning, Air Cages. So we're kind of sitting here watching. Last few times I've watched this, they will go and make another high, but I've only seen it like twice, so.
Kevin Wimmer says yeah I know. It looks so strong the selling, but if you look at the day they just managed to return to the levels the European and Asians started to push the market.
That's true. That's true. It was just a revert back to the mean. But then again, like, look at this chart here. Look at this chart. Almost perfect inverse correlation between the ES and the dollar index and, if we open up the 6E, right? So probably really we should be trading, if we really wanted to trade the thing that is having the most influence right now, we should be trading the the dollar euro, right? Yeah, see there, they're gonna break it.
Kevin Wimmer says no, fuck currencies. Never again.
Never again. There it is. Okay. I'm gonna go back and do a back test on that one. So that is now the third time.
Air Cages says so you're saying the market is going up on dollar devaluation. How do you see this playing out long term? How long can it last?
Good question. Well, let's think back. The way that it worked with QE, we definitely were seeing dollar devaluation, and in the end, it ended up being good for us. I think the issue that I have right now, though, is that there are much greater concerns in the market. And it's not like monetary policy can't help us resolve those issues, but I kind of feel like that right now, the market is just kind of glossing over them. And I'm afraid that they're not going to get solved, you know? Are we seeing something up here? Oh, they're going up. They're going to try and retest that high? No, something happened there.
Vincenzo C says thumbs up.
Okay. We're getting an outside bar doji here.
Air Cages says how do you solve it?
Mm, well, man, I don't know. I think I've just been going through on this assumption that, well, not assumption, but kind of this question that, like, somebody has to pay for all this, and who's going to be left holding the hot potato, you know? So we definitely got, like, an outside bar there. It was a doji. So they're probably flipped down. Okay. Gilead Sciences Phase 3 simple trial will provide information on if shorter 5 duration of therapy may have similar efficacy and safety as 10-day treatment course in NIAID trial.
Air Cages says I guess people will be the ones paying for it in the end.
Yeah. Well, look at this, as to get an idea of how this sort of thing plays out, right? Just look at this argument that Kumo is having with Mitch McConnell. Reddit sure has been triggered by this. Like there's like top posts on politics for the past week has basically been about this issue. I don't think that anybody's even said anything new about it. But the story was that McConnell said that we're not going to pay for the underfunded liabilities of blue states and that they should declare bankruptcy. Now, um, that's illegal as far as I understand. I'm pretty confident at this point from the research that I've done that a state cannot declare bankruptcy. So, not only can a state not declare bankruptcy, but they can't shed their obligations like that. So, probably the most likely thing that happens is they have to raise taxes and cut services in their states to pay for those liabilities or renegotiate it somehow. And all the meanwhile, Kumo just says, "Oh, Republican states they get way more federal money than blue states." Yeah, because like Kentucky has Fort Knox in it, so there's all this money that goes to Fort Knox. Of course, it's like changing the subject. It doesn't help them pay for those underfunded liabilities. So when we look at all of this debt that we have now, we're picking up, people seem to think that the United States government can just add debt forever. And that's not the case. Okay. There's another higher high. They just stomping people out all over the place. Why is it taking so long to read things this morning? Google API must be going slow. Figure they just got caught with
Jerry
their
is
hand in the
awake
cookie
says I
jar.
just figure they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what's going to happen is, though, I guess the point of all that was what's going to happen is the politicians are going to try and pass the buck off as long as possible until they can't anymore. And then it will be a crisis. And then because there's a crisis, they'll maybe be able to do something, and that something will probably just be kicking it down the road again. So that's what always happens. I think that initial pivot that we made there and everything made sense. But we needed to go down a lot further, and I was taking a lot more risk on than I realized on that first trade. Okay, well here they're coming up to the high again. They're gonna go through. So you're calling, not calling for a crisis, but probably yeah, it's gonna happen.
Jerry is awake says unfunded pension plan sounds like SSI.
Let me restart the thing because it's being really slow for some reason. I think it's because the Google Text-to-Speech API is being slow. Well, now not only are we through high, but we're above yesterday's high too. Are we really higher? I really don't think that that was the GDP number. You know what I mean? Are the red blue squares showing delta? Yeah. So this one right here is overall delta buying my, versus selling. This one is like the overall book liquidity level, and this is the stacking and pulling. Let's see if we click read on that, how quickly it takes to read it. Yeah, the Texas speech is just really slow today for some reason. Like it's synthesizing the message, but it's not getting it back to play it until much later. So I may just have to read your messages out. I'm sorry, guys.
FK Zara says, are the blue red squares showing delta?
Okay. Well, in order for us to short now, I would need to see something really crazy. Donald Trump retweets the Daily Caller. Joe Biden's town hall with Hillary Clinton got off to a fantastic start. The squares in the ES. Oh, the squares in the back are just 5-minute candles. Squares in the back are just 5-minute candles. And I represent the top and bottom of them with slightly differently. Honestly, after they corrected the number, I can't understand why it is making new high instead of reversing the whole move. Thank God I don't trade news, else they would have screwed me like Jeff. Well, they screwed me once, right? I tried making a play out. There was more risk in it than I realized. And just like they screwed Jeff, jeez. I don't think that it's the GDP news. I really don't. Worse than expect. I mean, here's the thing. I've certainly seen moves off of news that don't make sense, especially when it's bad news and they're like, yay, Federal Reserve can pump forever. But not like this. This is crazy. I think that the Gilead news might be moving. But then the whole thing is it's like, so there's kind of this disconnect. This is like the hardest areas to trade because it's like, when even bad news is good news, that's a good indication that you're in a bull market. You know what I mean? And yet it seems like the action is so disconnected from the reality. I don't know. I'm noticing though, the E-mini is really trendy. You know, once you get an impulse a certain direction, it's really hard to turn it. In the Treasury, we would get moves that would reverse on us all the time, and I found it really, really frustrating. Like, I wanted to buy and buy and buy, and it was like, I buy it and it's good. Okay, so today is a buying day, and then it would reverse on me, and it was a selling day, and and how long does it take for you to realize that change has happened, right? That was always a problem in the Treasury. The E-mini doesn't seem to do that. The E-mini picks a direction, and it just goes that direction all day. I mean, I would have agreed with you if it started like 1 or 2 minutes before or after, but it started right with the news saying, no, you're right about that. Is this the plunge protection team? Oh my gosh, I never showed you guys the picture. Where is the picture? I should download it. I should have it on my machine. Where was it? guess. I mean, it depends on when you trade. Direction tend to change during different sessions. For instance, European was clearly long yesterday. Just follow the trend. US was clearly short. Is it still 28 in your country? Wait, is it still? Oh, anyways. Pictures. It's the plunge protection team. Maybe it's them. I don't know, man. This whole thing seems a little weird to me. Okay, so there was a pivot. Okay. Hmm. He was making. I always notice that you'll get to these points sometimes where it's like, okay, they pull back. Maybe there could be a turn a little bit, and then somebody comes in and makes sure that it doesn't happen. Okay, well, there you getting these wrong way stop runs again. Who was that in the picture? It's the plunge protection team. Look, there's Steve Mnuchin, the Secretary of the Treasury. James Powell, the Secretary of the Federal Reserve. Jay Clayton, the SEC Chairman. And Heath P. Talbot, the Chairman of the CFTC. And they meet together. And together they are Plunge Protection Team. Oops. Should have been like that. Plunge Protection Team. And then after they meet, they go and they tell all of their buddies what they're going to do. And then all of their buddies buy it for them. So I'm running into this. It seems like the trade was right, but then it doesn't go. Let's see if our reader is any better now. Nope. Still slow. It sucks.
Air Cages says lol.
That's how delayed it is. That's how long it takes for me to get the request back from Google. What the heck? Hmm. I mean, overall, there is more selling than buying through this location. I'm seeing something over here. Unclear. Let me fix that indicator, though. So there they just tested the bottom of the range. And back up into the middle like it's nothing. There should be some stops here. Like if they close below 29.1750, they would have to close below it though. And there it is right there. See, it kind of slows down. Okay. A little lower, but it's still slow. But they did trigger to stop. Can move this. Donald Trump, at least they admit it, failing New York Times and Washington Post never correct their fake reporting, says Donald Trump. Politico posted a lengthy editor's note explaining errors in a story published last week, saying Trump owes millions to the Bank of China. EIC Matt Kamaski also sent his note to staff today, acknowledging we got the premise of our original story wrong. Oh man, yeah, and Reddit really went crazy over that one. Okay. There's still quite a bit more selling than there is buying, but 6,000 versus 4,000. Okay. Simbel ABK says, hi, how are you? Can you post a link to that picture? I haven't put it up anywhere. Let's just post it in the memes. futures. I'm fine, thank you. And you? We're a little confused at the moment, I think. I think we're all sitting here looking at this move up and going like, wait a second. So it was confusing for us because the news came out and it was originally they said it was 4%, which is like impossible. And then they had to come out and correct it. It was negative 4.8%. So the market moved up and now we're saying, so was that move BS? Well, it's unclear because the blah 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 blah. There was Gilead news as well, and the market seems to really care about that drug for some reason. Hmm. Hmm. So, saw a couple of guys jump in there on the cross, but I don't think that that's really a good spot to go long if you wanted to get long, because they're not. The volume isn't picking up there, and in fact, they close below 29.1375. Oh, he knows. He knows. Ha. Okay. Confirmed pivot high. Now that is an interesting one. I'm going to take a picture of that for John. Well, we got about 13 minutes to the open. Trading Floor Audio retweeted Scott Gilead medical doctor. As I noted on April 16th, the emergency use authorization would allow commercial distribution of remdesivir, so more critically ill patients could get access now. Remdesivir would appear to meet or exceed standard for authorization under EUA, especially relative to other EUAs issued. Emergency use authorization. Market is curiously balanced here. Probably not for long, but Seeing some dollar selling as hopes for a vaccine improve. There has been some dollar selling on this move up. Looks like they pulled some off of the ask at 04 in the 10-year. That was not 17. And look at this iceberg in the 5-year. Oh, okay. Sellers making a bit of progress there. Okay. Some stops there. So I was looking, somebody was showing me something from Bookmap, and Bookmap has something that claims to be able to use depth of, well, so there's a way of giving level 2 data that will show you all of the individual orders in the queue and not just the total size of the queue. And they claim to be using that to determine whether an order is a stop order or not. I don't know exactly how they do that, and I'm a little skeptical about it. But man, I sure I want to try it. That's like $80 a month to have it though. It's like, what? It looks like the VIX. I can't see the value right now, but it does sound like the VIX is set to open lower today. The ex-US FDA head Gottlieb suggesting now enough evidence for emergency authorization. Sounds like cheating. Yeah, dots. Yeah, triangles and circles. Yeah, dots. It's $80 a month on top of Bookmap's $50 a month. It's ridiculous, but if it is 100% accurate, it could be worth it, says Patrick Dessing. Yeah, it could be worth it. I don't know. I would have to be having feel really confident with what I'm doing right now for me to be willing to shell out that much for it, you know? It sounds like what they're doing is they're looking for the order of events. Like, so it could be something like you see the level 2, those orders get pulled off because they've been filled, and then you see the fills over here in this feed. And it might be that if it's a stop order, you see the orders come in before you see the level 2 change. And so maybe they're processing that sequence of events to determine whether an order is a stop or not. I suspect that's what it is. But I don't really know a whole lot about that particular data feed. I think what I need to do is I need to switch back over to Rhythmic and get my broker to give me direct access to the Rhythmic API and write something that does it myself. I think is what I would have to do. And then I could try it myself. And of course I can just maybe they'll give a trial of their indicator and we can watch and see if we really believe that it's showing stop orders or not. Well, so far, they were making a pretty good attack at the bottom of the range, but it is already coming back. It appears to me like they are in a pretty good range, and they're probably going to come and take me out. I was going to say before that happened, they're in a good range and that we might just be stuck here until the open. But of course, they went right for me. See that? That was a stop run. I think we got a problem here. I think that everybody wants to short it. Well, that sucks because I could have gotten more out of that than I did. Actually, at one point it was 24 ticks. Of course, that candle that ended up doing it ended up being a shooting star. So I think I probably have to sit back as much as I want to short it here. I'm thinking of shaving my head. Good idea or no? Asks Eric Ages. It depends on the shape of your head, really. The nice thing about shaving your head is it's low maintenance. But some people just don't look good bald because the shape of their skull is weird. Symbol pointing out the good news about the Gilead treatment. Yes. I keep reading tweets about it. There's more tweets are coming out about it. I mean, I'm not sure if that's what I think that the market's obsession with that Gilead treatment is kind of dumb. But whatever. See, they're going to sell into the open. They look determined to try and do that, to make that happen. I'm a trader. I figure I don't really need hair and haircuts are getting expensive. I mean, if you're listen, I think hair is great. Yeah, see, here they are. Oh, I want to click so bad. I want to sell it. Look, they sold it on the open. So they sold it on the open, and it's going higher. For the moment, they're still battling it. Huh. These are experiments. I'm trying something that somebody else showed me here. Okay. How did that turn out? Good. Oh, very good. Okay. And that offer's holding pretty steady for now. Here's offer, here's bid. Seller's able to push the bid a lot more effectively, but they're not through it yet. Japan to extend state of emergency by 1 month. Okay. No. Hey DT, how's it going, Seth? You are right about the study. There are 0 results at the moment. Wait, which study we're talking about? Whenever somebody says I'm right about something, I'm immediately like, wait, nobody ever says that. Something's up. Oh, they killed. Yeah, well, there was definitely some reporting out and everything like that. They are all recruiting at the moment. I don't know. The thing that weirds me out about it is that the market cares so much. Just check on clinicaltrials.gov. Okay. Yeah, why does the market care so much about one company, the supposed cure of one company? Like there's plenty of other things out there that supposedly are potential treatments, and they don't get all gaga when new trials come out about those. The whole thing just seems like manipulated to me. I can't deny when stuff comes out about it, it moves. And then, of course, you got this whole move this morning. Like, did we move up on fake GDP news? I don't know, man. Oh, the whole thing is a little crazy. Elon Musk pushes for reopening of country, ending de facto house arrest, reports The Hill. Yeah, they're moving back up. Then had one of those weird spots where they pushed a newer low below the pivot low before they made a pivot high there on the 1 minute chart. There hasn't necessarily been any on the 5 minute chart, which means, by the way, that we could go lower. Fasha. Darn. Too slow. Okay. I shouldn't have done this. Come on. Throw me a bone here, please. Okay, that makes me feel a little better. Hmm. Ran into somebody's buy there, huh? 2908? Okay. Hmm. I'm scratching that one. Like there's a sweep coming in, but I'm not terribly happy about the position that I had or the moves that I'm seeing. Chris, so I left my Rand Squawk audio feed on last night, and my father-in-law, who sleeps directly below my office, was convinced that he was hearing ghosts having conversations at 3 a.m. Yeah, that is funny. Yeah, that was a better spot. Outside bar there, 2903.50. Actually ends up being a much larger bar than I from here to here. Okay. Oh man. Okay. I was starting to get a little upset there. I was like, okay, I got it wrong, fine, but why you gotta blame me like that? Yep, higher. Did the link to the volume projection range change? No, I don't think so. Can you not get to it anymore, Daniel? I think you could just search for it. Downside targets 2881, then followed by 2850. Upside targets 2943 and 2975. Thanks a ton. The link wasn't working for me. We'll try a search. Yeah, because I think that, well, it's different for me because I created it, but I'm pretty sure when you come in here to indicators and strategies and you just do the search and you should be able to find volatility pro, or what was it called? My scripts. Did it get taken down maybe? Okay, wait. Reddit. Yes, I posted on Reddit, right? Volatility projected range. This script was hidden for violating one or more of TradingView's house rules. Use only one account. Brokers are no posting links or reference to sites. English only. I think that they are mad because I promoted myself in the description of the thing. So I don't know what to do. Let's try publishing it again. I'm just going to publish it. Where did it go? My scripts. They won't let me publish it, dude. That's so dumb. Oh my gosh. What? TradingView, what's with you? All right, you know what, guys? I tried to help the world. TradingView won't let me, apparently, because I mentioned my YouTube channel in the description. Well, they're getting a lot of outside bars up here. And we did lose that last one we lost on. I can take it long here. I don't know if I want to do it in that area. Let's see if the text-to-speech reader is caught up now, if it's going to be faster. No, it's not. It's still slow. Still slow. Clicked it. It's been like 10 seconds. Oh, wait. You know what?
Daniel
I can still
K
give it
says
to you.
thanks a ton. The link wasn't working for me. We'll try a search.
There's still a way to give it to you. No, that's not there. It's Pine Editor. How do I do it? How do you show it? Rename script, favorites, like version. There's a way to do it. I know there is. Oh, there's higher. Maybe I could take it there, 29, 16, 75. Like there's a version of it that you can get, but only if you have here it is. Okay, try this one. This is the private one. Before I published it public. Okay. Well, that's a little disconcerting. Getting indications of price discovery again. Obviously missed all that upside. It kind of stopped in the most inconvenient place. Like inconvenient in that like it tells us nothing. Okay. There's a little bit higher. I don't know if that spot is very good for trying a continuation trade. Like it's way too rangy right here, and often when you break the range for the first time, it doesn't just go. Okay. See, it's still really slow and tepid. Oh, there's gonna be this 29, 19, 25. That was kind of like where there was that stop run earlier before they went lower. Almost the top of the hour. Oh, we have pending home sales in 2 minutes. We're looking for a reading of negative 10% versus a previous reading of 2.4 on pending home sales month over month for March. And the previous reading for year over year was 9.4. Morgan Stanley expects oil prices to stabilize at WTI $40, Brent $45 in 2021. What? You're still at 15? You say so? We should keep the oil up, huh? Treasuries on the move up again. Yeah, Anthony Crudelli. What did he tweet? Oh my gosh, guys. I hope that yawn was not contagious. Market environment for my strategy matters. With all the news today, I am forced to watch for a bit to see how the price action reacts to my strategy. Don't let the news compel you to trade. Let the market prove to you through price action and your strategy to trade. Gotcha. He's saying he watches and he sees if his strategy works once, and then maybe he'll trade it. Well, it worked for me a few times. Actually, it's worked for me both ways. When we got down here at the bottom, I did get out after all that. So I guess I took when I got stopped out of that one back in 906, I really could have reversed it. Okay. They're still kind of in price discovery mode here. Hmm. Okay. Oh, that's actually is a break for me. Not everything is in line, but it's close enough. Not quite crossing the open yet. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. That was like 2 or 3 sell sweeps there. Which platforms are allowing you to paper trade using the DOM? Well, what I'm using is Jigsaw, and you can put paper trades in with it, and it has a pretty good sim because it keeps track of the queue for you, so your fills are more accurate. Still got a couple of lines that I want to see it fall through, and they're not doing it. I don't know how much leeway I give it here. Like if I I give up on it at 8, and then it's just gonna plow through it, you know? Well, the open's definitely giving them trouble. Okay. See, like even after that, a pretty good plunge, and they came back almost just as quickly. Huh. There's a little bit of absorption, and then sweet. Okay, the treasuries are ticking up. I don't know, guys. I mean, when I see those cells come in, it looks really encouraging to me. That's really encouraging. But it doesn't just go. So right there, even might even be a double bottom, frankly. I know this seller kind of looks like he's not going to give up. Hmm. Aren't you well asking Daniel if he's short today? It's kind of a difficult spot. Right here, we're like literally right at the open and they're just battling over the open. Like, really? Hmm. A lot of these prices around here, they're actually able to move through really easily. So that's why I'm a little surprised that it hasn't just dumped. Treasury ticks up to 0808 half. Lining up to attack that low again. Can you do it? You got to actually get one. It's not enough to just get down there, boy. You have to actually sell it. Jeez. Aha. 500 hit. Okay. Now we hit him. Did that actually make it? It did. Oh, what the? Whoops. Did you see what happened? I moved my stop and the column at the same time. That was weird. Okay, what was that? Well, the initial, like the pivot low was down at 2902. If they broke that, could be fun. Obviously, they're going to try and stop it from doing that. Okay. Now they're going to come for this stop area at 2907. There, and they did touch it. I'm in this one with you. Let's do it. Okay. Well, I'm feeling good about it so far. I guess the question for me here is, can I hold it? Like, because I'm looking at it from like, okay, pivot low is 2902.25. Then if they go below that, then we could run, and the volatility target is 2880 or so. So a good 30 points to hit our volatility target if they're going to hit it to the downside. That's a big if, by the way. And so this whole thing comes into me of like, can I really hold it for that long and all that? Well, so far, this move down continues. Move this. I guess I'm to the point now where no matter what happens, I'm pretty happy about it. Okay. I think I may have to take it off right there. Okay. See, I'm going to end up regretting doing that. I don't have a good enough stop strategy. Well, that would have hit my stop that I had. Should have hit my stop. So, I mean, that's like a confirmed pivot. So, and it's higher than that initial pivot low, which is concerning to me. So then I have to ask myself, well, I could have left my stop all the way up at 29.15, right? But then you're giving up so much. Okay. Well, it was a little scalpy. I'm happy with it so far today. That first one there was some problems with that first one, right? Hmm. Working on waiting. Take a second wave below 05. Oh, you got it at 29.12. I think that they're going to come for 29.20. Well, they're going to attack the open again. Did you guys catch? Are you still in that, or do you catch profits off of that? I don't, man. So here's the thing that weirds me out is there has been a few where I was like, oh, it kept going and I missed it, you know? But I would say that that's happened maybe like 3 times. And the times where I took the profit and then I ended up getting a better exit because of that, probably like a dozen times. And I'm not sure what it is that I'm seeing that compels me enough to take it off in that spot. Hey, Anthony. Hey, thank you very much. Hey, he gave us euros because euros, I like that because euros are worth more today. Well, maybe not today. Let's see, where are they at this moment? 99.64 on the dollar index. Dollar actually gaining a little bit of strength. But anyways, thank you very much, Anthony. How have you been? We should, when he's in here, we should check our Bitcoin. That doesn't look like they've really moved a whole lot. Did it not roll over? I swear I rolled over. Nah, it hasn't rolled over. I think that I rolled it over and then I didn't save the workspace, and so it didn't stay rolled over. Okay, so they moved. And I moved to 83. 85 is kind of a key resistance spot. So this one is kind of annoying, actually. Yeah, Anthony's saying that it's up. So let me explain why I find this annoying. Is like, okay, so say I don't have my pen open apparently. It's hiding. There you are. Oh, we don't need. It was just hiding. Okay. So say you got it. We got to move like this, right? And then here's this key resistance point, the support, right? And they go, goodish. We're right there. What is it going to do? What is it going to do? Right? Because one scenario is, wee, and one scenario is, oops. You know what I mean? So this is one of those decision points that, in price action wise, I've had a very difficult time making sense of. Okay, well, the E-mini did make it above the open again there. The funny thing is that when we were here, like we had this move up and that was the end of that move. And I said in the notes, I said, well, I don't know if there's really a reason for them to move it right now. But it is going. I mean, I guess you could say that it's moving with everything else. Like everything else is risk on, so why wouldn't Bitcoin be too? Everything moving up makes me super nervous. So I tell you what, if we have if Jeffrey Gunlock ends up being right in the end, and I don't know, like maybe he's already stopped out. This is a pretty crazy move up this morning that I don't think makes a whole lot of sense. But I digress. Say that we go back down again. Bitcoin will get killed on that move. So that's maybe one way to play it. But I also have to wonder, what is the Bitcoin community saying is trying to place the reason for it to move on? I don't really see a whole lot of any significant news going on that would tell me that it should go up. I guess we got FOMC day today too. We'll see what they say. This is where, I mean, I'm glad I took my profits where I did. But I think you have to wonder if there's really a lot of volatility or really a lot of opportunity left this morning with the FOMC later today. You know what I'm saying? Anyways. And you're still making more profit with Hex, huh? That's interesting. The guys are speculating on the happening in Lebanon riots versus... Okay, I haven't heard about the riots. The happening already happened, didn't it? Maybe it's either it happened or it's close. I think it already happened. But I just don't... Man, the happening is the most important non-event ever. You love that oxymoron. Like, the thing is it totally matters, but like not in any short-term trade. You know what I mean? Like, the Bitcoin happening matters in that there's less supply coming into the market now, and over time that will make price go higher. It will. No question about it. No question about it. But not necessarily in the next few weeks. You know what I mean? It will take time for that to get factored into the price and for the true value of it to increase and get to where it should be. And they're already front running it so hard, you know? Like that was what people were saying before they had that fall back from what was it? Like, I need a bigger chart. 10,000 when we were up at 10,000. They were talking about the halving. Banks on fire means for Bitcoiners rain is coming. Probably not, but is that in Lebanon? Daniel says he's out of the short. So you tried to stick it out, huh? But he's been more of a swing. He's been swinging it more than me. I wonder what happens if they come up short on this side. Like say they don't break 28.20. 29.20. Say they don't break 29.20. Huh? Wouldn't that be pretty okay. Al Jazeera. Let's read Al Jazeera news. At least a dozen banks were torched and vandalized as fiery protests against economic hardships continue across Lebanon. At least a dozen Lebanese banks across the country were torched and vandalized during a second consecutive night of angry protests fueled by the frustration over the national currency's unfettered depreciation. Hundreds of demonstrators took to the streets from Beirut to southern Sudan, along with Nabatea, the Bekaa Valley, and Tripoli and Akkar in the north. While it was unclear how many civilians were hurt, 81 security personnel were injured across the country during attempts to contain the riots, including 50 in Tripoli, says the military. Short again. I mean, if they don't break 29.20. Oh, if they don't break 29.20, then you're gonna go short again. They did the same speculation with Hong Kong. That's interesting. Is it? Well, I guess when we look at the flow, especially on the futures, there has been in net since we were at 7,000. There has been about 1,000 contracts long going into it. They are above kind of a rangy area, but to get back to where they were at 10,000, they were up at cumulative delta 2,500. So there's still a long way to go for that. 2,000 contracts for them to get past the 10,000. Here's the thing, though. That kind of bothers me if that's really the raise. I think the halving would make more sense. But riots in Lebanon, like, Do you really think that there's a ton of people in Lebanon that are going to start using Bitcoin for transactions because of that? Like, no. First of all, it's really hard to use Bitcoin right now. Like, they've really damaged their ecosystem. And we still get like high fees from time to time. It's and you have to have a computer anyways, and like honestly, when the world's on fire, you're probably less likely to use a digital currency. Like seriously. Do you remember the answer we agreed on what BTC intrinsic value was? It was a couple of years ago I asked you that question. Well, I believe I've maintained that the intrinsic value of Bitcoin is the ability to make transactions. And so I continue to say that the coin value increases or decreases based on how useful a Bitcoin transaction is. So that's where I'm saying, like, okay, so if you attack the banks and you have complete anarchy, okay, your internet infrastructure is going to break down. You're not even going to be able to use Bitcoin because you won't be able to get online to do it. Certainly not in a third world country. So why is that a reason to buy it? Maybe if it was happening in the United States, there was riots like, or, people were concerned about the United States currency falling apart, but they weren't necessarily concerned about the internet infrastructure falling apart, right? So we have a financial collapse, but not necessarily a societal collapse. Then that would maybe make sense to me. But what's happening in Lebanon sounds to me like total... Okay, Arash, can you explain where you are getting the 2920 resistance from? Sure. So there was a pivot high at 2918. 2918 was where there was a high, and then we call it a pivot high on a 1 minute chart because this one right here, make it big. You see right here how it draws a line? The way that you know that it's confirmed is here's the high, and then when we have a bar where the close is below the low of the previous bar, like that, then you have a confirmed pivot. So that was the pivot high. That was the price that they're going to want to get through. Now, I have to say 2920 is close to it. And they had trouble getting up to 2920 before. So that's where I say I can't really say it's like a straight line. But this area from 2918 to, let's say, 2922, is going to have some resistance in it, probably. Just that if you really wanted to go short, that would be probably the area that you would be trying to do it. My strategy says that we can't do that at the moment. I would need to see a significant flip again. And I would probably be waiting until they came back to the open price again. So that's where I got from. I don't know. The thing is with Bitcoin is I can say what gives it intrinsic value, but right now it looks like that speculation is the main driver, and they can speculate on whatever they want, especially if it's not like a huge market. There's not going to be a whole lot of people in Bitcoin going, oh yeah, these riots, they don't matter. Like, I'm going to be the only person in the Bitcoin space saying that, and I'm not going to participate, right? So who's selling against you? Nobody. So it might as well go up. But I guess where I come from is, okay, so if the move up is on speculation, there's a limit to how far it can go. There's only so much money in the Bitcoin space that they can put into it. And you got to remember that there was some of that speculation going on when they went up to 10K. So if they come short of 10K, say that the larger economy dumps and Bitcoin gets screwed, be very ugly. So I think that probably the probability is that we go up, but that the risk is to the downside. Now, the answer we agreed on was more people are needed and required to use Bitcoin. You and I laughed, but it made sense back then on intrinsic value. I don't know if that was... I don't remember that conversation. I do remember when you first came in that we were talking about Bitcoin. More people are needed and required to use Bitcoin. But I mean, the thing was, is I think back then that was before they just totally decimated their ecosystem, you know? Oil just took a big turn there. They came up to 16, and now they're turning back down, and they're already at 1553. Man, that is a fast mover right there, that oil. Ooh. Well, we moved down. I don't know if the E-mini is even paying attention to that. The Treasuries came back a little bit too, so I don't think that a short really makes sense for me here. Maybe in a bit, but a long would maybe make sense. And I guess then we kind of have to wonder though if we want to go. Oh well, it's 8:30. This is the reversal period, huh? And I always forget about that. Not the reversal period, the counter trend time frame. Starting at 8:15 was about when it started. Oh, I could have gotten out just based off of that. Okay. Anthony, another $10. Wow. Dude, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You guys have been so kind to me. The channel has been growing so much, and you guys have just been great, and I'm really happy about it. I really am. I can't. I mean, some of my trading has been spotty. I've been doing good the past 2 weeks, but I some of my other trading has been spotty. But like we're overcoming it, and a lot of it is because of you guys, and the channel keeps growing, and so I really couldn't be happier. And I got a baby, and I get to stay home more because I have a gym in my garage. Like, yeah, where I'm sitting here going like, I hope we're not at the top. I mean, okay, my other guess is DeFi, especially with Uniswap. This is one of the places where lots of Ethereum are being spent. Okay, so this is okay, yeah. At most 11,000 ETH on Hex just for Friday. Hex might be the cause of the ETH bump. So that is maybe a better theory, right? Maybe Bitcoin is moving up. Maybe Bitcoin is moving up because Ethereum has been moving up, and there are some real reasons for Ethereum to be moving up because there have been coins that have proven utility in this environment. All of these stable coins. So they went up and they tagged 22, and they're coming back to the 18, right? So we're still kind of in that zone, but I think them piercing it could be enough. Anthony says exactly. That makes way more sense than protests in Lebanon. Protests in Lebanon kind of sounds to me like the reason that they give you because they don't want to tell you the real reason. You know what I mean? Kind of like over here in the E-mini, where they say it's Redemesvir, but when probably the reality is that they were going to buy up the E-mini anyways because the euro is appreciating. It'll be interesting, by the way, I will be here for FOMC, and I'll probably start the stream maybe 5 minutes before that. And the thing I'm going to be watching is that dollar index and that euro. I think that seems to be the biggest predictor of where everything else is going right now. Excuse me. The Federal Reserve needs that dollar to come down. That's one of the problems that they've got. But it's like a double-edged sword because if you get the dollar to go down, but then people are buying stocks because of it and they overextend themselves on stocks, then you set yourself up for a spot where maybe you have to like increase interest rates or, adjust your monetary policy, and that would be bad. How many hours until FOMC set? So it happens at 2 o'clock Eastern time, 12 o'clock my time, and it's 8:35 right now. So it's 3.5 hours from now. 3.5 hours from now. So I'll start 5 minutes before that at 1:55 Eastern time, right? Yeah, 1:55 Eastern time. I was thinking 2 o'clock Eastern time was like when it closes, but that's not when it closes. That's when it's my time that it closes. 3 a.m. Is that 3 a.m. your time, Daniel? Wow. Boy. That's crazy. I've thought about, because they do the StarCraft, like if you want to watch it live, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning here. It's like, and a lot of these StarCraft guys do it. Like, no thanks. No thanks. I'll sleep. I'll watch it on replay with the baby. The baby loves to watch StarCraft, actually. I wouldn't say that he loves it, but like he'll sit and watch it for a bit. He doesn't find TV very interesting, but he'll watch it for a bit. He's like, ooh, pretty colors. He was a big pill yesterday. He doesn't want to go to sleep. He doesn't like sleeping. Oh, Asher. Someday you will learn. You will feel foolish. When he's a teenager and will say, when you were a baby, you hated sleeping so much. It was a real problem. So they're doing this turny thing again a lot. I have to say, though, I don't know if that is a trade that I want. I really should have taken that long. Should have taken that long and be getting out right now. Because that was really kind of like the second wave up. We could have a third wave up. I don't know if they'll make a new high or not. Well, look, they're testing that stop. Testing the volatility stop. PA traders will see an M here on 1 minute. Already a few hacks on a few exchanges to steal hex coins. Can you believe? Oh, yes, I heard about that. Yes. Could be bearish. Gonna do a short. Okay. Well, that rejection of that area, it's kind of interesting. It's not so often that I'm able to identify and arrange that clearly. But I'm not 100% sure if that's rejection of that range or not. Sure is below this tail right here at 29.1625, I suppose. I could take it, or I could wait for the ES open. I mean, we've been so tight today. Like, they have so much further to go, but they might not do it until FOMC, right? Now, be careful with FOMC. Don't. I wouldn't recommend trading that. So here's the thing with FOMC. Like, you get that initial move, and it'll be really violent, okay? And people are making or losing millions of dollars in that time period, right? And it's so fast, you probably can't scalp it. And then you'll have a little time period where maybe you could trade it if you really, really want to take on a lot of risk. But you're taking on a lot of risk. Then you get the press conference. And the problem with the press conference is that your order flow reads aren't going to matter, right? Because everybody's listening to Powell speak and they're making trades based off of what he's saying. So I always have difficulty with that trade, and I wouldn't recommend trading that either. So, but in the end, it will give us a good read on what's next. Okay, interesting. The beauty of aviation. That's an interesting name. He says that he's getting fun. Well, congratulations. Is she pretty? I hope so. You don't need to brag, buddy. No. I take it that you were short against that move up, huh? I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do here. Look, see, they're going back up to it. They're back to 29.20. See, they're still in the zone of uncertainty. Look at oil there, by the way. Oil taking a big push up, and now they're retracing again. That could be a good reason to go long the E-mini. I bet you there's a little bit of correlation there. Can you help me? Probably not. Well, so here's what I would say. First of all, step by step. Okay, so first of all, trade at sim. Don't use real money. Don't use real money until you've proven yourself on sim. Okay, and probably then some. Like you've proven yourself on sim, and then you probably will go live and probably screw it up anyways. But I digress. So that's the first thing that you got to do, right? The second thing that you've got to do is you've got to keep good notes. So let me give you a kind of an allegory here. So here's a Rubik's Cube, right? If you move a Rubik's Cube, right? Say I want to get these white things over here, and I want to get them on top, right? Well, I can see when I look here, if I move this way, and then I move this way, okay, that puts the white one that I wanted right there where I wanted it. But then there was these blue ones right here. They were over here. Now they're out of place. So if I change something, it changes something else. And it's a very complicated. There are like millions and millions of variations on this cube. Okay. So the guy that invented the first cube, and this is, a 5-sided cube, but let's just talk about your 3x3x3 cube, right? He spent 2 days, literally the whole 2 days, trying to solve it. And eventually he had to get a piece of paper. And when he did the piece of paper, he discovered that there was certain moves that really mattered, right? Here's the thing. You would never, I would, if you figure those moves out on your own without a piece of paper, there's something wrong with your brain. Like your brain's not going to do it. Now, here's the thing. I could give you a strategy. Okay, his first rule is beauty, be patient. First rule, beauty, be patient. No. Rule number 1 is when they give you your money, don't give it back. That's rule number 1. Remember? Okay, anyways. So I can give you a strategy. Here's the thing. I've had a lot of people give me strategies that have been working for them, and then I will try them and I'll just completely blow it. Here's the thing. The art of trading is not the art of having somebody else give you a strategy and then just following that to a T and being perfect at that and keeping everything under control, and that's how you do it. Doesn't work that way. The way that trading works is you have to watch the market, you have to track and understand what it's doing, and then develop new trades based on what the market is doing at that time. So if I came in and I gave you something that worked right away as a beginner, I'm really not, in the long run, I'm really not helping you. I could give you something that might work for like the next week, but then when the market changes, or frankly, it's going to change today, frankly, after this FOMC meeting, I think the market will probably be different. We'll see where we're at after that, okay? And then you don't know how to develop your own new trade, and so then it doesn't help you, does it? Okay? So, but I will tell you one thing that helps, and I've been doing okay. I'm kind of testing something new, so these are some trades, but it's been working for me, and actually, if we come back and we can just show the past 2 weeks, I think some of these trades were bad. So some of these were like, let's see, we're going to have to refresh it, I think. Oh, and there was also ones that were, okay, yeah. So I think where was it? So like some of these in here were ones where we were like, oh, that didn't work. We've done this week, it's been more, I think we've been a little bit more consistent. I can get it to, it's not updating correctly. I know it's, yeah, there we go, 140. There you go. So it's doing okay this week, and it's actually been doing good overall, but some of those trades last week we're still figuring out. I think still figuring it out. And I think before I take it live, I really need to give myself like a no mistakes for a week or something like that. You know what I mean? Anyways, so this appears to work, right? In this current market environment, you don't care? Then don't trade beauty of aviation. Quite frankly, beauty of aviation, if that's your attitude, you are destined to fail at trading. Straight up. 95% of traders fail trading. And one of the reasons why you're going to fail is because it's hard and you have to enjoy doing it. And you have to enjoy the process of trying to come up with a new trade based on what the market is doing. So that is great. How long have you been profitable? So you go through periods, of course. It sounds to me like we're probably being brigaded again. But that doesn't mean that you can't win. Keep trying. Okay, the beauty of aviation. How long are you going to keep trying before you get bored of it and decide that you don't want to make money anymore? Or that you're not going to lose money on it anymore? Huh? You think it's interesting now because there's a little bit of a thrill from trading. RE Brigade. Oh, it certainly is. Well, people will try and point out certain particular things. Here's the thing. I will go through periods of profitability and not profitability. The point is not to say, I don't stream to come in and say, oh, I'm super profitable, everybody should follow me. I don't like saying that. And I don't even necessarily like saying, showing people when I'm profitable. Because what I don't want people to do is start mirroring my trades, think that that's the golden way to trade, and then everything change and I change and they're still trying to trade the old way. You know, what are you long or short? I'm not. I don't have a position right now. We already made the money that we want to make today. To be honest, I have to say, so I could show you results over a year. If you look at over the whole year right now, I think that probably it'd come out a little bit under. Because there was a period earlier on where it just got too volatile for me, and I shouldn't have been trading it, but we did. Okay. But you know what? Nobody's profitable forever. I would challenge you, show me somebody with statements that has been profitable this year. Like you'll get these guys in, 2018, there was like 4 months of statements that I have, and you can go and look at it. And then you say, oh, well, what about the rest of the year? What about the 2 years since then? And they'll say, well, you have to go in and redact your address and everything from all of these broker statements, and that's a lot of work. Yeah, it is a lot of work. But if you want to prove to people that you're actually profitable, that's what you have to do. Or you could ask your broker to make a statement. That you could ask a broker to say, okay, from this time period to this time period, this is how much they made or lost or made. And then they would tell you that they could give you a statement back, and they would sign it, and then we would know for sure without you having to go through all the trades. Obviously, going through all the trades would be better, but it's a lot of work, but you can do it. It's just a few hours worth of work. You would think that if somebody's whole jig was, I'm profitable and you should trade my system because I'm profitable, you would think that they would be willing to go through the work to do that, don't you think? And yet they don't. So, the beauty of aviation, you don't understand your chart. Well, I've got a lot of things up and I don't necessarily have to explain everything that's on there. Don't you think the Axia guys are profitable on the long term? Well, yeah, I mean, they have to be in the overall, they have to be profitable or they wouldn't make money. I mean, they wouldn't be in anymore. If he's been, prove it. I don't believe you. Prove it. I want to see broker statements from January, February, March, and April. Right here. They don't exist. He'll never show you. You know why? Because they'll go through. Well, actually, let's step back a second. Why is it if somebody is so great, so consistently profitable, the only person out there, why would they have to send cronies out to somebody else's channel to promote that person? Oh, don't play stupid with me. So yeah. Joseph is going to get banned here in a second because he's clearly a troll. I am totally okay with vendors. Like we have vendors, they can we'll do affiliate marketing with vendors and things, but not other rooms, not other YouTube channels. And Joseph is obviously coming in here to troll. He would never say that. Like, here's the thing: is nobody that watches our channel and knows what we're doing here would come in and say those things like that. The only person that would come in and say the things that you guys are saying right now are the hacks from Vinny's channel that have no clue what's going on, right? They've only listened to that one guy and they don't really understand the larger market. They don't realize that they've been completely had, right? Like think of it this way, okay? Well, it's not a fact, Joseph. You haven't proven anything. And nobody cares about him, Lewis. I agree. I really don't, but some people do apparently. I mean, I suspect that he is having trouble with his channel, and that's why he's paying people or sending them over to come over here. Because really, if he's so profitable, then great. Why would he need you to come over here and tell me about it? You've got 3 guys here, coordinated, coming in to promote his channel. He's probably paying them. I know for a fact that he has paid people, because those people that were working for him and were being paid by him to promote, eventually they're not profitable. They figure out that it's a scam, and then they come over and they complain to me. They say, "Oh, Seth, everything that you told us ended up being true." This isn't just like a one-time thing. It happens over and over and over again. And I don't give a shit about that whole thing. The only reason that we care or we talk about it is because you idiots keep coming over. Like, he keeps finding suckers to come and do his bidding. It's really funny. But like, honestly, if it's so great, go and trade it. Why would you go and promote? You would just trade it. Go trade it. Don't tell me about it. I don't give a shit. And I don't want to trade somebody else's system. Like I said, to me, the art of trading is watching what the market is doing and coming up with your own trades, because it changes. It changes. Pay it forward bullshit. You're being paid, Joseph. Bullshit. You don't have to go and promote it on somebody else's string. You wouldn't. People would just find it on their own. People would just find it on their own. They're really funny. John says he was a part of Vinny's room for a while. Oh, you have spoken before about this, haven't we, John? I think. Let's see some of the guys. Well, the thing is he will tell you. This is what he will say to it. He'll say, "Well, this person, they were in my room and they left, and they left because they were trying to steal my indicators." Or, well, that's bullshit. Okay, I just show you. I find it funny that they come back because when they were here the other day, it was such a disaster for them. Like, we gained a ton of viewers from that last stream. It's like different people now. We gained a ton of viewers from that stream, and he's going nowhere. All right. Anyways, I really like lizard indicators. Dun, 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 dun. He has this indicator library. A lot of these indicators that you can buy or that are on here are free. Okay. So, like, one of the things that I think is cool is he's got like these fibs. Fibonacci bands described expansion from a fixed moving average and display possible areas of support and design. Where is it in here? He has some advanced versions that kind of do some kind of like, if it's just a little bit off from it, they adjust to it anyways. Does Lizard charge you? You can buy a lifetime access to all of his indicators for $100, but you really don't like this one right here? You can just download it. I'm giving you something for free. I'm giving you something that he claims he only has, that he claims is worth a lot of money, but you can find some of those on here and just download them. You just have to figure out what it was that he's calling it, right? Because what Lizard calls it and what he calls it are different. I'm giving you free stuff. Isn't that great? What broker do you use? Right now I'm using AMP. I really like these edge clear guys. I think I might move over, but I'm going to wait a while before I do that. Now is not a really good time to switch. Does it pay you to promote? I do not promote lizard indicators like I would. Like I said, anybody, here's the thing. Here's the thing on promotion. I am just me. I have a YouTube channel. I can do anything I want. I could choose to promote Vinny if I wanted. If I thought that his system wasn't a complete, promote it. I don't promote other rooms though. And that's the thing. I do not promote other rooms. I do not promote other YouTube channels. We're just keeping to ourselves here. Okay. So if somebody comes in and they want a YouTube channel, they're going to get banned. I'm just going to ban because we do not allow promotion of other rooms. But if an indicator soft package out there, if there's an indicator package and it's a good indicator package for starters, because I'm not going to promote something that I think is crap, and they want to come and they want to do affiliate marketing with us, then we'll do it. Absolutely. Would be glad to. We do affiliate marketing with Jigsaw. When somebody buys a Jigsaw license with our affiliate marketing link, I make money. And I am damn proud of it because Jigsaw Trading is the reputable software platform in the business, in my opinion. And to me, it is an honor that he would trust us to do marketing for him, that we have that relationship with him, with Peter Davies. I am grateful and proud of it. And for people to come in and say, well, you're promoting this or that. I could promote anything that I want. Why wouldn't I? I want to promote good software, and if I can get paid to do it along the way, why not? I heard it before from chat rooms, man. It is hard for me to trust people. If you pay me, I'll go troll his room and get the free things. Oh, well, it's just, I didn't ban anybody. That's the funny thing. He just left because as soon as we start talking about it, they start going, oh, wait a second. Maybe we've been had. I think maybe he will stop sending them over. We'll see. I have heard from others. Did you just say that you're only the only? No, that's certainly not true, and that's certainly not what I meant. So what's Vinny? They're just talking about another YouTube channel that comes and trolls us from time to time. And lately they've been doing it through trying to brigade the chat. I can tell almost instantly when they're coming to. It's just kind of funny. I'm wondering if I want to do something at 9:30, but I don't think I do. I'm pretty happy with my take for today. I mean, I made what I target for the day. So, and I'm not really sure if there's enough room for them to like go and take like the overnight high. So, anyways, what is that? Well, for one thing, we trade live. They're not trading live right now. They're not even. I'm pretty sure that they're not even online right now. Anyways, so with Jigsaw, I actually don't know. I know that there are other people that do affiliate marketing for them. I don't know who, to be honest. I haven't seen anybody else out there doing it. But with Jigsaw, any owner of Jigsaw, if they promote, what is the word? If they refer a friend, there's a little thing on Jigsaw's interface where you can refer a friend. And if you refer the friend, then both you and the friend get some money. So really, all of the owners of Jigsaw kind of promote it a little bit, because if you're using it, and they're gonna buy it, then yeah, you do the referral thing. But the thing is that like I asked Peter, right, with the Jigsaw thing, I said I'm gonna make a video about what I use to trade. I use NinjaTrader 8 and I use Jigsaw, and I'm going to mention them. And so if you can give me a link that will, so that we can use to track, at the very least, track how many people actually clicked the link. And then if we can do affiliate marketing with it, even better. I wish I could do affiliate marketing with brokers, but that's not allowed in the United States. Because I have some good relationships with the brokers, and they're really great people, and I promote them too. And I at the very least, I want to know, like, when I make a video and I say, okay, here are some places you can check out that I would recommend. I want to know how many people actually click on it, because to me that tells me how effective I'm being at communicating the message, even if they don't get paid for it. But anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, so I went to him, and he said, "Oh yeah, we know you and you're good, and we'll give you an affiliate link," and it's been great, and I'm really happy about it. I didn't think that would be something that would happen, but it did, and it was great. So yeah, Joseph says, "What a lie!" I mean, everything that I've said has been truthful. Okay, what is the difference between Jigsaw and Bookmap? Actually, that's a really good question, because there are some things about Bookmap that I'm kind of wishing I had right now. So if you want to use the DOM, and really the thing that is good about Jigsaw is the DOM. Right now, they have the best DOM, and I like to use the DOM. It's an execution tool primarily. I still use charts. A lot of what I'm doing right now, I rely on charts for my entries. But I still watch the order flow on the DOM. But that's what Jigsaw is really good at, right? Bookmap is really good at the Vista chart. So you can see there in the bottom right corner, I have a Vista chart. That's what Jigsaw calls it. And Bookmap has a chart like that as well, but there's kind of enhancements to theirs that make it a little bit more useful. For instance, this chart running the total number of limit orders at any one individual price, and the more that there are, the more white it is. And the Bookmap one will kind of detect when those are changing. So if one of those levels is changing a ton, or like a lot added or removed to it at that price at that particular moment, then it will color it a different color, like green or red or something like that. and that's useful. And they have these other histograms. So now Bookmap has a beta feature where they claim to be able to show you where stop orders, to be able to detect and identify stop orders. That is like $83 a month, which if it is truly is detecting stop orders, and since I don't know the exact algorithm, I can't really say, but they claim to be detecting stop orders, and that would be really useful, and I really want it. I want to be able to detect stop orders, calculate them, and do some studies on it, because I think I might be able to calculate people's actual positionings if I could see where the stop orders are. So, Bookmap has some good stuff. I think that other platforms will catch up to them. I myself have written a couple of histograms that I have not made public, at least not at the moment, that show you similar things to what Bookmap is showing on their histograms. And I think I'm going to make my own my own Vista chart in NinjaTrader that would also show me some of those things. But the stop order thing, I'm not sure how they're doing that. I'm trying to figure it out because I really want to know where people stops. I really want to know if an order is just a market order or if it's a stop market order. I want to know that. Might start doing that second wave for confirmation. Right now I'm adding on second wave, but might enter their slow days. Yeah, I think, well, we had like, let me come back over here. Okay, initial pivot low, wave 1, wave 2, maybe wave, I don't know. I honestly, I still don't see a whole lot of opportunity up until FOMC. So I'm just going to sit tight. I'll be back, of course, for FOMC. What else do we have in there? So I think I answered the Bookmap question well enough. Bookmap is great. If they wanted to do something with us, then we would totally like to work with them too. RJ Will says live. Yeah, well, we'll be here when the Federal Reserve runs live, if that's what you're asking. I'm still testing this strategy. I'm still practicing this strategy out. So IDK not doing so well today. Well, just save some then. You were testing an entire platform around order flow? Well, so I was doing Optimus Flow. There's a couple of videos on the channel about this. I haven't done like a full-on review video. Maybe I should still do that. It's just been kind of hard to do stuff like that lately. One of it is that I need to log in and just record some video of it working. The thing with that one though is it is really long term. Really long term. So yeah. It's not really for scalping, but if you want to use ordered flow to make swing trades, then I think that Optimus Flow, it would be a great platform to do. And yeah, Danny says that, yeah, I like the owner. Yeah. So I've spoken with Matt a lot. He calls me from time to time. We've talked about stuff and he's really great. Like I tell you what, that going to Optimus Futures is worth, you do pay a little bit more in commissions, but it's worth it just for him. 2920 area, troublesome supply area, now looking like a demand area. Yes. Well, I mean, we're not through it yet, but I do suspect that in the end we will end up higher. I'm not convinced that we've hit the high of the day today, which seems crazy, right? Jigsaw needs to get in gear with advancements like Bookmap. I agree, Gary. I think that they have a lot of enhancements in kind of coming, but because they've been working on the chart, and who knows when that's going to come out. 'Cause I really feel like that their Vista chart could be better. Now, Gary's saying if one wants to get into figuring out where stops are at, better plug into the API. Well, so I'm not saying where is a stop. I'm not saying like, okay, people have stop orders sitting out there right now, and where are most of them at? And are they at, like, if we touch 29.25, are there going to be a lot of stop orders there? My understanding is that that's impossible. You can't see that. And they don't expose that. But what I do want to see is, 153 contracts just went off at that price. How many of those orders were stop orders? That's what I want to know. Supposedly, through Rhythmic and Bookmap, you can see that. So, I think what I've got to do is hook directly into the Rhythmic API, which is hard because the API is not just out there. I think that you have to ask your broker for access to it. So I think what I need to do is I need to switch back over to Rhythmic, ask my broker for API access, get that access where they can show you the size of all of the orders in the queue, and see how they do their matching differently, and just kind of parse out the events and watch them and figure out if there's a way to detect where stops are. Do you call out your trades? So I don't sit down and say, okay, guys, I'm getting long at 29.25, and this is my stop and this is my target. I don't. But if you watch the screen, you could do it. But like I said, I am intentionally, I don't want people to follow me. I want people to come up with their own trades. Yeah, when Jigsaw add the TPO and the footprint, it will be the best platform order without counting TT. Well, with charts, it would definitely be the best platform. Just with charts. But there's some innovations that they need to add to. So you can watch me where I got. If you rewind this video, you can see where the trades that I took. But like I said, what I'm trying to teach you is how to come up with your own trades. Trying to mirror me is probably not going to work out for you in the long run, even if I'm doing well, because the way that I trade is adapted to me, and you might not be able to follow it. Yes, still looking for tests of them. March 6th close at 29.63. Okay. Well, that is kind of where the targets are. Like if FOMC comes out and the market likes it, I think that those spots are likely, I just right now I'm just not necessarily seeing it. The market did some good swings and now it's getting really choppy. So that kind of indicates to me that nobody has control over the market. But it might change here at the London close. Let's see. I was with Myris and Rosenhall Collins group before, all impossible now. I'm happy with Interactive Brokers though. AMP is good. I've been pretty happy with AMP. There's nothing special about them. They do what they're supposed to do. I'm really interested in EdgeClear though. I really want to go and get an account over there and see what they've got. I have 29.61 as a level on MES. Well, that's still a good 30 points away. I would be very, very surprised if they were up at 29.61 before FOMC, right? And I'm certainly not going to trade FOMC. Maybe some of you are crazy. AMP is steady. Yeah. I mean, if you have a problem with them and you have to talk to support, I often feel like I know more about what's going on than the support until they get to the level 2 stuff. But it's not like bad. It's not like I think that you're really putting yourself at risk and are going to lose money because you're trading with AMP. It's just kind of like minor what do we say, minor inconveniences with them. Is how I would put it. Somebody was telling me in a PM that I should apply for a job at Jigsaw. I assume they meant programming, and I'm like, you know what? I really would like to, actually, because there's a couple of things that I think I could add into Jigsaw that would be useful. And I would really like to just have the ability to go in and just start putting whatever I want in there. Anyone from Europe with suggestions? So you can use AMP in Europe. I know that much. I think you can. Well, I think pretty much all of those. I'm not sure I know of a futures broker that you can get them in the United States and not the other way around. It's almost always the opposite. There's a couple that you can do outside of the United States, but you can't do in the United States. Not to mention the free platform they'd give you. But I already bought the platform. If it's like that, I should go and work for somebody that I don't have the platform. Like, I should go and work for Bookmap so that I can get their platform and I can see stop orders. I really want to see those stop orders. Did you hear? Were you here when I was talking about that part, John? Let me show you this. I mean, I was posting links yesterday, but where is it? I have to scroll way up. Where is it? Oh, and I also have this. Okay. So Bookmap has Bookmap's Stop Iceberg Tracker with MBO data. It's in beta, and MBO means market by order, market depth by orders. So what it means is when I see that there are 2,137 lots at 139.05 half, MBO data can break it down and say there's a 100 lot there, and there's a 20 lot there, and there's this and this and this. And they can show you when it pulls out, which one pulls out. And so you know exactly where you are in the queue. That's the point of it. That was the main thing that they added it for, was so that you can get an exact, you know exactly where in the queue you are. Okay. MBO. Is that level 3? Yes, they call it level. Some people are calling it level 3. But I think we should call it MBO. If you want to search on the CME website for more information about it, you want to search MBO. So let's call it MBO. All right. Anyways, so they have something called the Stop Iceberg Tracker. Okay. So they talk about, why don't we come back down here? Where does the Iceberg Tracker explained? Iceberg orders remain hidden when watching the order book in real time. However, once the exposed portions of iceberg transact, the SI can track them. This offers traders blah, 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 blah. Now, somewhere in here they explain how they do it, but basically the gist of it is that you can see that, let's say that it's an iceberg and there's not a lot on the bid. So people start selling into this 600. And they trade all through the 600, it will show this order ID for this order. But then more trades, and you will see that they matched against that same order again. And so 100% for sure that was a exchange side iceberg. So you with MBO, you can confirm that they have an iceberg there. Okay. Now they also claim to have a stop order tracker, and they don't really explain what it is. But they say is stop orders remain unlisted when watching the order book. However, once they are triggered and transact, the stop orders can be determined with 100% accuracy. And I don't know how they do that. But we came over here, some person was saying, oh, this add-on is bullcrap. and they're really hitting them. And the jigsaw guy, or sorry, the bookmap guy comes in, and he kind of explains it. Where is it? It's further down. I think it's further down here. They're asking about a patent. It wouldn't make sense for the CME to patent an algorithm that detects information they intend to hide. Stop orders and the bottom of iceberg orders are hidden until triggered. However, the CME does admit that their markup by order data makes it possible to detect icebergs. The detection, here it is. The detection provided by stops and iceberg was based on our internal research. It is specific to the CME's MBO data and specific to sequences of events produced by their matching engine. It wouldn't work on data of any other exchange. It just doesn't work with any CME data, but with undamaged MBO data, which is only provided by Rhythmic. So they are claiming that based on the sequence of events that they get from MBO data, so it could be like you see the level 2 change and then you see the order match, or the sequence of events of that they can detect whether an order is a stop order. That's what they're claiming. Those are stop orders. Seems valuable to me. But it's like $83 a month. And you have to buy their platform too. And it's $50 a month to transact with their platform. Anyways, it's super expensive. So I think that I would want more confidence with the system that I'm developing right now before I'd be doing that. Oh, looks like they broke the high already. That's funny. Well, I did say probably not the high of the day, huh? I'm kind of sitting here like maybe I should have bought it, but nah, that was so. I could have reversed and taken it off, but then I probably would have taken it off at 29.20, and I'm glad that I haven't been involved in all this noise since then. Okay. Bots, do they have a preferred data provider for that to work properly? You have to use Rhythmic. The MBO data is only provided by Rhythmic. Rhythmic had it available from day one, and nobody else has added it. Like the day that the CME put it out, Rhythmic added it to their feature set, and nobody else has added it, apparently. Algo lovers, if buyers hold their pullback above 28.97, yes, they did then anticipate test or break of 29.33. Okay. Then anticipate an initial target of 29.37. We're expecting that it's going to go further than that, actually, Algo lover. My first target is 29.43, followed by 29.75 or so. And he says, happy Fed day. Strike 3. I'm just going to sit on hands now. I don't want to break rule 1. Yeah. It's a choppy market, dude. Didn't I say it? Anyways. So now I'm thinking, well, what I need to do is I need to go and get Rhythmic and make my own interface to it and see if I can look through what I might be able to figure out from the MBO data and see if I can detect stops with my own platform, I guess, since NinjaTrader and Jigsaw don't seem to support MBO. Maybe Jigsaw's working on that with the other charts. Who knows? I would expect, though, that, like just being able to know where you are in the queue, I mean, it's useful stuff, but if you have to come redesign your whole platform, which I think for a lot of these data providers, they have to, then it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to put any effort into, and that's probably why nobody else has done it other than Rhythmic. And Bookmap has it. I don't think Sierra Charts has it. There are some other platforms that have it, but I don't know which ones. So yeah. So I kind of went on that. I got this up, by the way, John. I got this. I need to do some more work on the strategy that we're working on, but I ended up holding the baby all night last night. So let's see here. What else? If you work for Jigsaw, I will go on a social media campaign to promote not using that platform. I don't know. I'm pretty good. Holy crap, dude. What is that mess in the bottom right corner? That is oil. That's... Hope everyone is losing well. No, we did good today. I'm on a streak, dude. That's just this week. Today. That's today. We did good today. Wow. It's not that great. I think this one right here, that one shouldn't have happened. You know what? So I'll show you. How do you read this thing? You know what? In oil down there, I'm not really paying attention to it or using it. I just think it looks cool. But what it tells you is the more white there is at a price level, the more liquidity there is. Yeah, it's this fish finder. You know what I want to do is I want to find something that, like, you pass it a number and it will spit out an image to you. And then constantly, based off of the level 2 information, throw numbers into it so that it animates really quickly. I don't think that there would be any use for it, but it would look cool. Huh? Anyways, ever played with TT's algo design level? If not, take a peek. Probably. It sounds interesting. I have to say, though, so somebody was showing me shark indicators. They have something that you can use to develop strategies really quickly in NinjaTrader. And it just doesn't interest me just because I can program and I'm really confident in my programming ability. And I feel like that I can develop an algorithm that's more complicated than they're pointing, their little graphical programming sort of things that they have. So I should do some programming in TT. I don't want to spend the monthly fees for TT, Yeah, I have it set to be white. I have another one that was green. The more green it is, but that means there's more liquidity at the level that will be harder for them to get over it, right? So you can see right now in oil, there's more, limit orders below us, and so you can see that it's kind of been providing some support. NinjaTrader is the bomb, very nice. Yeah, I use NinjaTrader. So what was I going to show you? I wanted to show John this. I took a trade around, where was it? What time was it? 6:41. Okay, I took a trade in here. You see this in here? And I saw this pivot. And I said, okay, they're going to sell and they're going to go down. So I took it as it started to drop out right here. And then they did this thing on me. Okay. So that was a little bit outside of against some of my time frame rules, but I've been taking those trades when it's close, and I think that that's okay in certain circumstances. But the thing that I didn't realize was, in order for the trend to truly switch, look at how much further they would have had to have come down. Like 94 is where the ATR stop is and where the trend line is, and we were at 2,900 essentially. Right? So it was going to have to drop a good 6 points. And yeah. So I think that just based on what how far away I was from that stop really didn't make much sense. Were you trading against the open of the hour too? I think so. Yeah. But when I took it, I was taking it under the premise that they were about to go and take a negative. I took these ones up here. Like I took this short, when it was somewhere up here, just because I knew they were going to come back across the open, and they did. And it took them forever, but then eventually they pushed down. So some of those are okay. But I think that, like in this one, when I look at it, 18 to 20, 2 points stop versus over here, how far it would really have to go for it to be significant. And we were above that anyways. It was a dumb trade. I think that first one was a dumb trade. So that first one on my results, I think that one was a mistake. At the very least, I shouldn't have been allowing it to take on as much risk as it did. Some of these other ones, this one I wish I had gotten 20 on, but whatever. This one, I think that was actually a good exit. And then this was the one that worked really well. So now the funny thing about this one, I don't know how I keep doing it, but I got out. I saw something that said I should get out in the order flow, and I did, and that was when the trend up started. I could have flipped back around when we got back above the open, but I decided not to. So what are you trying to shill us here? Well, so anybody that promotes the platform, we're willing to work with them. I do have affiliate links and things like that. I use Jigsaw and NinjaTrader. If you choose to buy Jigsaw, I have an affiliate link, and if you use that affiliate link, that it helps the channel out. But the way that this started was as a journal for me. I did not expect anybody to watch this. I really didn't think that people would watch it. And then when I started live streaming, I didn't think that people would watch it live. But this community of people in chat that are just so amazing, and I'm eternally grateful to, it's just kind of formed on its own, and it's a great thing, and they help me out. But really, this is still just, I still take it from the perspective of this is me learning how to trade, and sometimes I do good, and sometimes I don't. Yes, I recall you mentioning Lindsay before. Sorry, it must be another one of those senior moments. Oh, yes, that's right. And what size? I'm always trading a one lot. Always trading a one lot. So if I'm trading a two lot, I'm probably I probably made a mistake. I need to work towards that, but I need to get consistent with this entry and exit first. Because even with today, I think these ones were okay. I did a lot of counter trends selling. I can't say that I 100% followed my plan, so I think we still need work. But it's kind of weird. The thing that's weird is that when I do break the rules, at least this week, when I do break the rules, it's been working out for me more often than not. So it's kind of like I know enough about what sorts of areas might cause certain kind of action in the E-mini to be able to judge it enough to tell when it's okay and when it's not. So that's good, I guess. I guess we're getting better in that respect. You're not the only one that's surprised. I can't believe I log in here every morning. Thanks, John. John's probably my best friend right now, I have to say. And we've been working on some strategies together. And he's been helping me out a lot. So when he comes in and watches and scolds me, like earlier, that was against the hourly open. It was. The thing was, when that whole thing happened, I don't know if you watched. John usually doesn't pay attention to the news so much, but other than when it came out. But what happened was, advanced GDP came out, and they initially said that it was 4.8%. And then they came back and they had to modify it that it was negative 4.8%. So at first I was like, oh, are they buying because GDP was so good? But then it was like, but GDP wasn't good. So that's why we were selling it. But then there was that Redesmir or whatever stuff. And I really can't explain why they're buying it, to be honest, though. Dollar weakness. I see dollar weakness again. That's probably part of it. But to be above yesterday's high, I'm actually quite surprised. I really thought that, yesterday was a reversal day. Yesterday was a reversal day, but it didn't cause a long-term reversal, apparently. Okay, 934. I think that first of all, I think we dealt with all of the brigaders. What should we call today's stream? Oh, wait, we should just say, Man, how do I explain in a quick title what happened there with the date with the GDP number? They farked it up. They definitely did. I'm just going to put GDP number gets corrected, markets higher ahead of FOMC. GDP number corrected? Question mark? Yeah, it happened. It's so weird. I've never quantum state GDP number. Yes, it's Schrodinger's GDP. Schrodinger's GDP. It is both negative and positive at the same time. And what is the end result? The end result is they buy it. Oh man. Well, that's what I'm gonna call it. How do you spell that? Schrödinger. Can't. Yes. Schrodinger's GDP. It is both positive and negative at the same time, but the end result is that the market buys anyways. Schrodinger's GDP. Oh, it's the 29th today, too. We can go fix that. Okay. I think that's it for me today, guys. Good stream. I will see you guys in about 3 hours. 2.5 hours. Right? In the meantime, stay profitable.